And the #1 female artist of the year it's Mariah Carey.
In 1994, Mariah Carey was on top of the world. The 24-year-old singer-songwriter had released 3 #1 records in 3 years, won 2 Grammys, and had completed her first concert tour. Mariah had achieved more in 4 years than most artists achieve in their lifetime. So when Mariah released her first Christmas album, Merry Christmas, the public was shocked. Christmas albums tend to be viewed as a tool in the music industry. It's something that an artist can use if they need to fill in an album to complete a record contract, or it's just a really fast way to make money because most Christmas songs are public domain, which means that you don't have to pay the original songwriter, and that means more profit for the record label. Not to mention that if you write a new holiday song and other artists decide to cover it, the artist that wrote the song reaps the rewards of royalties for that till the end of time. Pair that with radio play and now streaming. Basically, a Christmas album can be a moneymaker every holiday season, which is why so many artists, even ones that don't celebrate Christmas or even like Christmas, tend to make some type of a Christmas record, whether it's an album or a single at some point in their career. But that move is usually very calculated, and it didn't seem to fit for Mariah in this case. So why did Mariah break the mold? Why was she willing to do something so unheard of so early in her career? Is her love of Christmas genuine or a money grab? The answers may surprise you. So let's break down the history of Mariah Carey, the Queen of Christmas. Critics and fans were shocked when Mariah Carey announced she would be releasing a holiday record. Mariah was viewed as a pop star, not a gospel singer. She was also in what some would consider to be the prime of her career, and not an artist struggling to break a contract or find some fast money. But Mariah is a believer and a fan of gospel music and a lover of Christmas. She was confident in her vision and continued to work and promote the album. The album dropped on October 28th of 1994. In the United States, the album debuted at number 30 on the Billboard 200, selling 45,000 copies in the first week. By the 5th week, it had sold 208,000 copies, and in its 6th week, it sold an additional 500,000 copies. By the end of the year, it was the second best-selling holiday album with a total of 1,859,000 copies sold, and stayed in the top 20 for 8 weeks. Mariah's holiday album was a success, and thanks to songs like All I Want for Christmas Is You, the album continued to grow in popularity. Every year, the album sold more, and by 2021, the album had sold 15 million records. And as I speak to you today, it's one of the top-selling holiday albums of all time. Merry Christmas was just the beginning of Mariah's Christmas projects, and her impact on what I would call the pop culture of Christmas grows every year. Television specials, holiday movies, books, collaborations, concerts, merchandising, you name it, Mariah has done it. And if you name it and she hasn't done it, darling, it's just a matter of time. In Mariah's memoir, The Meaning of Mariah Carey, she talks a lot about her childhood and how it involved a lot of trauma, sorrow, and heartache, and that she longed to have a perfect family. And in her dream of a perfect family, that came with a perfect Christmas.
Christmas was often foiled for me when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And I talk about it in the book, different family members who are no longer family members to me, but always ruining the holidays. I waited the whole year to have this joyous experience that never really happened, but I still kept the spirit within me.
Mariah said that her label actually approached her about the idea to do a Christmas record, and she was unsure about it at first, but she came around to the idea. But she also wanted to write her own holiday music.
To come up with an original holiday song that becomes a hit, next to impossible. To make a Christmas song that's really you, that embodies your style, is really hard to do. But you're like, what if I can write something with a different melody that reminded me of being a child of Christmas?
Mariah said that she tried to get into the Christmas spirit, so she put on It's a Wonderful Life downstairs in her house, but turned it up so she could hear it all through the house. She went upstairs and played around on her piano, and she made a list of things she loved about Christmas as a child and started to work. Mariah has always been a very strong songwriter, particularly when it comes to melodies and lyrics. And organically out of her came All I Want for Christmas Is You. She wanted the song to sound like something that she would have grown up with and that she would have loved. Mariah took inspiration from holiday music from the 50s and 60s, and when it came time to record, she decided to decorate her studio so she could have a perfect Christmas moment. Speaking of Christmas moments, I did want to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, FREEZO. FREEZO is a frozen blended coffee drink that makes it easy for you to make your own frappes from home. I've been using this stuff for months and I am obsessed, and one of my favorite things to do with it is to make my own custom frappes, especially ones that my favorite coffee chains have stopped carrying. So today I'm going to show you how I make an eggnog frappe. I take my FREEZO tumbler, which is about 20 ounces, and I fill it with 3 cups of ice. After I put in 2/3 of a cup of milk and then 2/3 of a cup of eggnog. I'll put it in my blender next, and then I put in 3 scoops of FREEZO on top. I let it blend, I pour it out, I put some nutmeg on top just to make it a bit more festive, and bam, I have my own eggnog frappe. FREEZO also offers a light version of their product with less sugar, and if you don't like eggnog, don't worry about it because this stuff on its own is amazing. I will also do my best to share with you more holiday recipes through the season. I love having this on hand for myself as well as guests, and I'm so excited to be using it this holiday season. If you're interested in trying FREEZO for yourself, check out the links in the description and use my code ItsKim10 for 10% off your order. This offer is available in the USA, Canada, and the United Kingdom. And if you order it, I hope you love it as much as I do. Now back to Mariah. Mariah performed All I Want for Christmas Is You for the first time on December 8th of 1994 at the Fresh Air Benefit Concert, more commonly known as the St. John the Divine Concert. The event raised $700,000 to support the Fresh Air Fund and Mariah's Camp Mariah. Mariah donated an additional $1 million to the event. I also have to say selfishly that Mariah also performed Jesus Born on This Day for the first time at this event as well, and that song is criminally underrated and underappreciated. Through my research, I found an article on the Slate magazine website which broke down All I Want for Christmas Is You and focused on its composition. Journalist Adam Ragusi argued that All I Want for Christmas Is You is the only Christmas song written in the past half-century worth the inclusion of the Great American Songbook. The article talks about how the song feels like it was written decades before its release, and that it shares a chord with another classic Christmas song, White Christmas, and that the harmonies were reminiscent of Christmas songs from the 60s and 70s Motown era, like that of the Jackson 5's version of Santa Claus is Coming to Town. All I Want for Christmas Is You has gone on to be incredibly successful and regularly enters back into the Billboard Hot 100 around the holidays, and finally, after 15 years, it reached #1 in 2019. It has been certified diamond in the United States for selling upwards of 10 million copies and has reportedly earned $60 million in royalties as of 2017. And considering Mariah owns her masters and co-wrote and co-produced the track, you can imagine how much more revenue it has generated since hitting #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Love it or hate it, the success of this song is legendary, and it basically prints money at this point. The album Merry Christmas has cemented itself internationally. It reached #1 in Japan, Latvia, and Lithuania, and was a top 10 hit in multiple other countries. And considering new generations discover this album every year, and with the rise of streaming, I wouldn't be surprised if it enters into more top 10s in the coming years. In 2005, the album was re-released on dual disc. Oh my gosh, do you remember dual disc? For those of you that aren't aware, dual discs were a really cool kind of CD that got put out. So one side of it was the CD that you would like play in your car, and the other side of it was a DVD that usually had music videos on it and other bonus content. And in 2020, it was re-released on vinyl. The legacy of Merry Christmas is undeniable. Its sales alone indicate just how many people have been touched by this record, and for many, it's a must in their holiday traditions and a key player in their Christmas memories. With more than 10 different platinum certifications, 3 gold certifications, and worldwide sales of over 15 million, Merry Christmas is nothing short of legendary and proves year after year that Mariah is the reigning queen of Christmas music. Her love of the season, devotion to her craft, and infectious joy has made songs like All I Want for Christmas Is You a staple in Christmas culture, and the impact of Mariah's music is sure to be felt for years to come. Next time in part 2, we're going to go over Mariah returning to Christmas music and continuing to build her Christmas empire. Thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you to FREEZO for sponsoring. If you want to make your own eggnog frappe, I highly recommend that you order some FREEZO and use the recipe that I showed earlier in the episode. And if you want to take advantage of that, you can use my coupon code ItsKim10 for 10% off your order. I really love this stuff. I'm not even kidding. I've probably ordered about 30 packages at this point. If you love frozen coffee, you need this in your life. Well, that's it. Much love. Bye.